Hey guys, what's good? Back at another recap today. Sorry, it's gonna be a little bit of a late upload. I just passed out for like 5 hours. I'm just completely burnt out right now. And some days I just sleep all day without even trying to. So I apologize for that, but we'll get this up pretty soon here. So today was a pretty good day. Um, Unfortunately, I only took a win on one of the two accounts because, as you can see here, I did take 3 losses before I ended up taking a win. Technically, only two. These ones were the same trade, but we did go down about $2,000 before we made 3,500, and that was just due to just garbage price action again. And again, I like the setups, but there was just some bullshit that went down that I'll show you guys. So that was kind of unavoidable. But yeah, did end up pretty much blowing this account because I took, I believe, 4 trades in Asia yesterday, lost about $700, 650, and then I lost 2,000 this morning. And as you can see, I'm $50 for my max loss limit, so I couldn't take another trade. I plan on doing what I used to do with this account and trying to full port NFP in the morning and seeing if I can revive it, because what the hell, I wasn't going to hit anything with a $50 balance. So we'll see if we can bring it back tomorrow, but I highly doubt it. That news method has not been working lately. If it does, that'll be awesome, but yeah, I pretty much blew this today because I lost 700 in Asia, which fucked me over because I lost 2,000 this morning, and then the loss yesterday, I wasn't able to take that third trade, which I took here, which was the one that cashed. So yeah, it is what it is, but at least we got a $1,500 win on this account. Should have been a lot more because this was a $3,500 trade, but profit's profit, especially in these markets. So yeah, let's get into this today. This was very important. We had these unemployment claims at 5:30, which did get us a little bit of a data low. If this is going to load. Did end up taking a trade off of this today, which was nice. That's 524. So 530 right there, data low. Let's see if I really save. No. Okay, well, that was our data low for unemployment claims. I'll go back to that in a sec. My Wi-Fi will start to actually work. Sorry, guys. I'll cut this part out. Come back in a second. Okay, it looks like we're back. Sorry about that. But yeah, we had this data low here, and then we had Asia, New York lunch set up, and we obviously still had this breakaway gap from the other day, and then a bunch of stack lows. I wasn't looking for shorts, but they were actually really good today, as you can see, off the all-time high, but realistically, we're not going to be shorting all-time highs. That's just not a great look. But after this 15-minute inversion, if you did take that, it's not bad. Definitely not bad. That would have been a decent entry right there. You would have had to target pretty much down to this Asia low, because you're not going to get very much R if you just target, like, I don't know, to this low. You would have had to go down there, but I don't know. I don't like shorting all-time highs. I think every trade I've taken this week has been a long, except like 2. So yeah, let's go over the trade I took. So this first trade, and you can see we have this London and all-time high, was actually pre-market, right? So we didn't have anything on the 15-minute. Sorry guys, Wi-Fi cut out again. I don't know what's going on today. But like I was saying, there's nothing on the 15-minute. That was piquing my interest. I almost didn't even trade today. You can see Um, Other than this here, there wasn't really a single gap to target or to respect on the 15 minute, which is never a good sign. The only thing I had marked out was this 5 minute here, and there's also a 5 minute here. So other than that, that was pretty much it. This 5 minute here, we had inversed right here, so that was kind of getting ignored. So yeah, there wasn't really much going on as like kind of relatively higher time frame fair value gaps. Um, like I said, everything had been inversed with this push here. You can see this one barely gets above this 3 minute gap. And guys, when it's conditions like this, you got to be very careful. Like this very much been a day not to trade right before NFP, and like all the higher time frames look like shit coming into the session. Like even the hourly, the only thing we really had on the hourly was like a gap all the way down here. Other than that, we had nothing. Same with the 4 hour. So there's not much I liked, but at the same time, we did come down and sweep out this data low, and we did get a decent push up in a 1 minute IFEG. And like I showed you guys, that 5 minute had already been inversed, so I was pretty bullish with all-time highs there, and this 5 minute gap is my break-even point. I ended up taking a pre-market long right after we got this inversion, and I believe we also got it on the 3 minute. It was a 2 minute. I didn't get a buy trading view premium, so I can actually use the 2 minute to show you guys, because it's getting kind of annoying. But I got essentially stop hunted at market open. My stops were right at this low here, and I was just targeting up to all-time highs, nothing crazy, 1 to 2, and I got wicked out barely right there. And then we ran all the way up to my break-even point and then dumped again. So that one kind of sucks, but that's what happens when you trade pre-market. I wasn't too upset about that one. I did really like the setup, but when you trade pre-market, you're asking for it because there's a lot of volatility at market open, obviously. So that was a $1,250 loss, not the end of the world. And then I did end up taking another long, basically right after, because I figured we reswept this, and then we got a 30-second inversion right away, and I took another long right here, which was stupid. I mean, the entry was justified based off the first reason I entered, but complete FOMO entry because we did get a push back up after resweeping that low. And then I got the reversal off thin air again, and this one cost me about $720. I think my entry's a little bit lower. I did go move my stops up a bit. They're originally down here, but when we hit this, I moved my stops up a bit, and I got taken out right there for $720. And at this point, I told you guys my first account was like pretty much blown now, and my new account, well, I mean, I'm down both about $2,000, $1,970 to be exact. But first account, can't trade anymore. New one, I'm down a lot, so I got to be careful. But I had a lot of confidence in this move playing out. I knew we weren't going to go short today. We got this reversal off this 5-minute gap, and then we get a resweep of this 6 pretty much market open low. I mean, it would have been this candle, but I'd count that. And then we get a very nice V-shaped 3-minute inversion. I mean, you can't ask for better V-shape than that. And I knew this was going to be the one. So I took this one up here, waited for as much confirmation as I could, because like I said, I was already down $2,000, and I would consider this to be the trade of the day. We get 3-minute inversion there, and we get the 1-minute inversion here, and we also get the 5-minute inversion right at 655, which is up here. That is where I entered. So all these we got inversions on. Got the resweep of this. We took out some of this trend line liquidity. We swept all the way down to like this point. The only thing I didn't like was we didn't tap into this gap, but we had already wicked it out there. So I would consider this trade to be A plus in my opinion. I saw some people calling it like A minus, B plus. I'm not really too sure why. Like, there's no significant targets on the sell side, no equal lows or anything. I thought this was a really good trade. It was just kind of hard to see in the morning, you know, like I explained, nothing on the 15-minute or higher time frames, but this move was very easy to read, and you could have even got in. This would have been the best entry, getting in right here when we tap back into this 1-minute IFEG or FEG, sorry. I ended up getting in up here, like I said, and my stops were just at the bottom. We created 3-minute gap right here, and my stops were just below that, which still gave me enough room to breathe, but I wasn't losing an insane amount. And I was originally targeting to the nearest round number, which was right here. I was targeting to right about there. It was 1 to 5, and I ended up getting taken out in profit at 748. So right on this wick, and then it ran right back up after it wicked me out. But I did secure $3,500 profit there. Like I said in yesterday's video, these numbers that are like 29,000 or 28.5 are always emotional numbers. You can even see it, like if you pay attention during this session, you can see it. Like for example, 28.5. No, there was one we bounced off that was very obvious. I think it might have been 28.900. Yeah, right here is when we got that little bit. We hit 28.900 here, and then we get a little bit of a pullback down. I don't know. I find people do that in crypto too. They'll place their stop loss or take profit at round numbers. So you'll sometimes get like a fluctuation in price at those round numbers. So that's what I usually like to target. I like to target, like in this case, I was targeting like a tiny bit before 29,000, and it actually got very close to playing out. Only 50 points away, but it didn't. But I still caught $3,500, and I still caught like 100 points on this trade, which was pretty damn good. So I think that was a trade of the day. I'm just gonna quickly show you guys one more trade I liked before I end this video that I didn't end up taking because I was locked myself out. But you can see we do create, and I know I said I didn't like shorts today, but we did create a 15-minute gap here that we tap back into very nicely. And then we get on this move down, I'm just going to delete this fair value gap quickly, but we do have a hourly fair value gap there. On this move down, we create 5-minute equal lows with Asia low right here. So that was a super strong target. We come back up into this 15-minute, and this, I was locked out either way, but I'm just saying, if this candle inverse this 5-minute here, I would have entered right there and just banged a quick 1-to-1. But since it barely inversed, I would have said to wait till this one gets inversed, which was right here, and you could have entered there, which obviously this was going to hit. Like, this was a very guaranteed play, but just not high R. You can see we tap back into this 1 minute, and entering right there was amazing. I thought this was a really good play. Let's just say you targeted to here, and I don't know, had your stops above that 15-minute gap. It's negative R, but if you targeted to here, I believe this was New York PM low, you can get a 1.4 out of it, and it played out perfectly. You might have got break even here, like by like a ball hair, but other than that, I like that short. I would have taken it. I tried to take it, and I forgot I locked myself out. So, yeah, that was a decent one. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for trades today. Tomorrow we got NFP. Remember that. So look for that data wick. That's always really strong with NFP. Look to target that during the New York session, or sometimes pre-market. We'll get a reaction off of it. So pay attention to that 5:30 Pacific Standard Time candle, or if you're in Eastern Standard Time, 8:30. I don't know any other time zones. I ain't even gonna act like I do. But yeah, pay attention to that wick tomorrow. And if you're full porting NFP to pass an eval or something, I do have a video on it, but I do not recommend doing that anymore because the past 3 times I've done it has not worked. So be careful if you do that. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap this one up for today. Like I said, decent day, but could have been better. So we'll see how the morning goes, and I'll be back tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe as usual, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.